Hey you guys, TheCinnaman123 here with another Minecraft tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make this ice machine here. As you can see, it's pretty easy to use. All we have to do is flick this lever to get the ice in position, and then flick this lever. Oops, messed up there a little bit. Just flick this lever, and then the ice automatically gets moved out of the way so that the water that just got replaced will turn into ice again, and you'll have as much ice as you want. And this design can be turned into a double-edged design very easily, one on either side. And it's also fairly easy to tile. And if you make a design like this, you'll have all the ice you could ever want for all your projects, for item systems, for your mob traps, or really anything that you might want ice for. Alright, so in order to make this, you're going to need 10 sticky pistons, or 20 if you're going to make it the double-sided design, and quite a bit of redstone. As you can see, there are quite a few repeaters and just redstone laying around. So what you got to do is you got to dig out 10 holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that hole was 10 long, and I just filled it up with sticky pistons. Then you want to take some redstone and run it all the way along. And what you'll notice is that whenever we power this up, sticky pistons extend. Next, you want to add some stone bricks to the top of this. And now you'll notice that we'll get the effect of whenever we extend that, the stone bricks extend as well, and this will be what pushes the ice up and out of the freezing lane. Something you should know about ice is that it only freezes in a snow biome, so you will have to build this in a snow biome. And it also only freezes whenever it's in direct contact to the sun. So you can't have this indoors. It can't be covered up at all, except for one block, but I'll get to that later. So the next thing you want to do is you want to build this up. You want to add one more stone block that isn't going to be affected by a sticky piston on the end there. So one more, and you want to place stone bricks, or whatever your building block is, along the side of the sticky piston activated blocks. And so what'll be here is we'll place water sources all along the side, and you've got to build up this wall to make sure the water doesn't spill everywhere. But what'll happen here is that whenever we fill this all up with water, it will create source blocks all the way down, as long as we have one source block here, which will have to be covered by a block to make sure it doesn't freeze over. So one important thing you do want to make sure you don't forget to do is cover up your redstone. Redstone's washed out by water, and it would make a horrible mess if the water spilled out and you had to come clean it all up. And that's the reason that we use sticky pistons instead of normal pistons here, is because this way, whenever the pistons are down, it's not exposing the redstone to the water that we're going to be placing here. So you just want to go ahead and build up a nice little barrier all around your soon-to-be water enclosure. Alright, and you want to place a few water blocks. So you're going to want to put one there, and then you can just sit there and ride the current all the way down. And you want to make sure you place one water at least every 2 blocks to create a source block, and you can just take your bucket and you can refill it, because whenever 2 source blocks are on either side of another water block, those water blocks will become source blocks, meaning that you can pick them up with a bucket. Alright, so now what we'll find is that whenever we flick the lever, all the water goes away. Whenever we turn it off, the source blocks all come and fill in. However, were this actually in an ice biome, you would have run across a problem probably already that the blocks of water that you are using to refill this freezing lane would have started freezing over. So what you got to do is you got to make sure that that's covered up, and that will stop the water from freezing. And that block actually is unimportant. It's just there for laziness sake more than anything. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and build this up to a taller height. This is so that whenever we get around to building the piston removal lanes, we don't have any problems with the redstone reaching the pistons themselves. You also want to take this cover block that's stopping this water from freezing, this one right here, and you want to raise it up one block. This will allow the pistons to slide underneath it, but still stop the source block right here from turning into ice. So the next thing you want to do is you want to go over to the edge of your platform, and you're going to want to build out a little ways. I think I have 4 there. I don't know. We'll find out in just a second. So now you want to take out your repeaters. You're going to need quite a bit of redstone for this project. And you want to place one there on your right lane, the one that is closest to your pistons. And you want to place one, leaving a space here, on this block. And you want to set that to 4 as well. You want to place one more repeater there and set it to 2. Then what you'll do is you'll take some redstone and place it like that, and then another repeater set to 4, and you'll just alternate the repeater and redstone setup. The timing on these are fairly important, so you got to make sure that it's 4 every time. I'm pretty sure you can't make it go any faster. It's not the fastest way to move blocks, but it's the only way to move ice blocks as far as I'm aware. Alright, so now you need to take your redstone and just fill in all the gaps where the redstone is not normally. Oops. Alright, and there we go. So now what we'll notice is that, we need to place one more there. So if we power this up, it sends an alternating pulse down the line. Now, what this will do is this will make it to where the pistons will push there's a normal piston and a sticky piston in that pusher assembly I had over there. And the normal piston will push the sticky piston and then retract. And then the instant that happens, the sticky piston will grab the normal piston and pull it towards it, which will pull it into a redstone signal and push the sticky piston, and it'll just keep repeating the process. Actually, I messed up here a little bit. You want to make sure that you have at least 2 blocks extra space here, because that's how big the regular piston the piston caterpillar thing assembly is. And so you're actually going to need to move all this back a little ways. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Actually, I didn't need to break one of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now you want to fill in your redstone. Sorry about that, guys. I just slips my mind. But yeah, you have to have 2 blocks here that aren't water that you can place the piston and the sticky piston on. This is so that whenever you have ice here, actually here I'll place a few blocks here. And unfortunately, since I am in a flat land, I don't get any actual natural snow. But what'll happen is that whenever we flick the lever to make that extend, you'll see that the ice blocks come up to this same level as where the piston caterpillar thing will be. And you could see that if the pistons were right here, it would have pushed them up out of the lane, and they wouldn't be able to move the ice blocks at all. So these 2 spaces right here are pretty important. So the next thing you want to do is you want to build your clock. I'm just going to build a really basic clock. This is the first clock design I ever learned in Minecraft. All you need for this is 6 space. So like 1, 2, 3, and then right next to it 1, 2, 3. Then you want to place 1 repeater set to 4, and then facing the other direction another repeater set to 4, and then 2 redstone, 2 redstone, And then you'll actually need just one more block over here to add a power source. And now what you'll see is that whenever I give this lever just a little bit of a flick, oops, it's going back and forth between these two, and it's sending a pulsing signal to the pistons here. And I didn't put a redstone there. But now you can see that that line travels all the way down to the edge of where we would be having our pistons pushing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And now what we're going to want to add is a way to make the pistons that push up the ice blocks extend fairly easily from up on this level, because we don't want to be going down there all the time to have to turn it on. So what you want to do is you want to get rid of this lever if you've placed it here. And you'll want to place a little bit of redstone to give yourself a little bit of a buffer zone. You can cover it if you want. But then you also want to place a repeater down. It doesn't need any delay. The repeater's actually just for repeating the signal and making sure it goes all the way down the line. Then you place some redstone there, and then you want to jump up. Oop, that's not quite right. You want to place a block right there, and you'll place a lever. So what that'll do is that'll let the water, or the ice if you're actually in a snow biome, be pushed up nice and conveniently from the spot where you are right now. So you'll just take ice. Imagine that this had actually frozen over naturally. I'm cheating a little bit here with creative mode. But what'll happen is that if you come down here and you flick that lever, all the ice comes up and you're able to push it out. Now you may be wondering how we're exactly going to be pushing this out. This is the only part of the machine that isn't automatic. This needs a manual reset. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to take a piston, then a sticky piston, and the sticky piston has to be leading. That's very important. So you're going to have the regular piston pushing this direction, and then the sticky piston pushing this direction. So away from the ice. The sticky piston is the one that's going to be in front. And you place, I'm just going to show you how to load that one more time. It's pretty simple, but just to make sure we're clear. One piston there, and it has to be facing this direction, pushing this direction. And then a sticky piston right here, pushing that direction. And now you'll see that, oh, I actually don't have any redstone there. If we flick that lever, it starts pushing the ice out, and this will let you let the water start refreezing as soon as that's all done.